If you don't like this country, then leave. Okay.
Bye.
Send me the check.
It's in the mail, and I'm actually on my way over to help you pack and whatever I have to do to expedite this process.
Should we start a GoFundMe? New GoFundMe for annoying white liberal women. The Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is fund. Welcome back to If You Laugh, You're Conservative.
Freedom of speech means anyone can say what they want, which means anyone can say what they want about what you said. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequence. I mean, you're well within your rights to shout out someone else's name when you're making love to your girlfriend. But if you don't think at the very least there's going to be a discussion... Did you enjoy that, baby? Not really. Who's Derek?
I believe in God. You believe in fairy tales? I believe I'm a woman. Yes, of course you are.
Good for you. Religion's a fairy tale, but you can identify as a fairy.
They have pictures of everyone who wears certain sizes in the Suntucket. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Large, slim, that's not me. Medium, regular, not me. XXXL, relax, not me. Like, oh, okay, they're all doing well. And then here's mine. Oh, God, I'm Frank.
We are Frank, and Frank is us.
Everyone else is like a real model, and this is like their dad, Frank, and that's the one I wear.
Well, I'll tell you, you're not triple XL, because you're not black.
The reason I couldn't be racist or sexist or any other form of prejudice is because I want you to know I dislike you for you. You know, and prejudice would just confuse my very merit-based system.
It's pretty clear that you will be voting for Trump next month, but I'm curious if you've read this book to see if it will maybe sway your opinions a little bit.
Is the achievement, is it empty? No. Oh, I love this. This is the achievements of Kamala Harris.
There should be one line on the very first page. I came from a middle-class family. Remember when Jimmy said the unvaccinated should just die?
Hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
I don't know how he didn't get fired before. Need more proof? He celebrated censorship.
Trump has been suspended from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even Snapchat. But don't worry, Mr. President, there are still plenty of apps you do have access to. You still have Spotify to drown out the sound of millions of people cheering as you leave. You still have Pet Finder since you're on the outs with Mike Pence. You have Cameo, which will soon be your primary source of income. You can still play Among Us, a game where everyone accuses each other of being against them. You'd love it. You could play Pokemon Go. You and Donnie Jr. can hunt Pikachus together. And when no one else wants you, don't forget, there's always your old friend, the Domino's Pizza Tracker. Not only did Trump get banned from Twitter, Google, Apple, and Amazon removed the Parler app from their platforms. Parler is where all the right-wingers gather to post QAnon nonsense and misspell the word parlor.
Wait, is this supposed to be funny?
And no one was more upset about Parler going away than a sneaky little congressman named Devin.
But it's more than just the financial aspect of that. Republicans have no way to communicate. I have 3 million followers on Parler. Tonight, I will no longer be able to communicate with those people.
I mean, other than being on Fox News right now. Why does Devin Nunes always look like somebody knocked his ice cream out of his hand? Trumpers are complaining bitterly that they're being silenced. In fact, they won't shut up about being silenced.
That's the funniest thing you've said, because look at the left right now because your butt got canned.
On their 3 propaganda TV networks, on 1,000 conservative radio shows, all over the internet, they are screaming about being silenced. They won't be silent about being silenced.
You've gone viral. You've gone viral this week for this TikTok live.
He encouraged everyone to speak about their beliefs, whether he believed them or not. Am I a Republican? No, I'm a person. Because I'm standing up for someone that passed away, I'm now being called names in the chat. This is what's wrong with a lot of you people. You will never get far in life. You are sick in the head. Someone just said they're unsubscribing from me. Thank God, please. Because if you believe in they and thems, you're part of the problem.
Love it.
If you're so stupid enough to go against science, please unfollow me.
Jeffrey, what happened to you as a consequence of that going viral?
So about 100,000 people have unfollowed me this week for speaking about Charlie, the entire thing. I can't believe so many people in America are cheering and praising his death. It's honestly disgusting. So while I was live streaming, I found out about what happened in real time, and it was so horrifying and devastating. I followed him for a few years. Do I agree with everything he's ever said? Of course I don't. But I loved a lot of what he said, and it resonates with me. But the good news is hundreds of thousands of more people have followed me, and they're on the exact same page. So I don't care about the following. It's not about that. I just had to speak my mind.
Have you been surprised, shocked, depressed by the reaction? I'm genuinely stunned. I thought I'd seen everything in the news game going back 40 years. But to see the outpouring of gleeful celebration of a young man's murder for expressing his opinions, and a young man who would deliberately go into, the opposition territory, college campuses, and get people to line up and say, come on, argue with me in a respectful way. The idea that he gets murdered for doing that all the time seemed particularly perverse to me. Were you?
Exactly.
How did you feel about it?
I was honestly horrified because I'm someone that's always been outspoken. I love the truth. And for some reason, people are afraid of the truth. I've been told all week, he would have hated someone like you. No, he would have respected me because I'm my own person and I know how to have my own thoughts. So when I saw it in real time, I was completely devastated. I can't believe someone that has an opinion is now dead. It's disgusting.
When Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, of course there were people who celebrated his death. But we look back decades later at those people as scumbags. Decades in the future, you're going to look back at these people. You don't want them as friends, employees, neighbors. Charlie's death has exposed the wolves.
The George Floyd protests.
Riots.
Riots or protests. Depends.
Were they riots or protests?
All right. Well, we disagree on that, but to get to my point.
Sure.
To get to my point.
Were they mostly peaceful?
I believe so, yes. I think that there's over-policing in black neighborhoods. Would you agree?
Not even close. Under-policing, actually. And don't take my word for it. Again, like half of all murders in Chicago aren't even solved. That's bad, right?
Okay, but that's Chicago, okay?
Well, but again, about only 60% in Baltimore are solved. It's across the country. But Chicago is America's third largest city, New York, LA, Chicago. Let's just pause right here. In order to solve murders, you need detectives, which are police officers. So we should agree that if you commit a murder, we should find out who it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So half of all murders are not solved. You can fact check me on this. Chicago murder solve rate 50%. You guys can all fact check me on this. So should we need more police then?
I never said I disagree about defunding the police.
No, but you said over-policed. I don't think we have enough. So show me an example. Show me a city where we have too many police and be specific.
Well, I can't come up with any specific example.
Well, but you said that we're over-policed. You got to give me some specifics. It can't be an abstraction. You got to tell me the city in America that is over-policed, because I'd be interested to know about that city.
Well, like I said, I don't have any specific examples, but I'm going to pick...
Liberal kryptonite. Give me an example. The S word for them is statistics.
Did you know that removing meat from your diet will help you lose up to 80% of your will to live?
Now that's a statistic I believe.
I don't know about you guys, but I was under the impression that the left was a party of free speech. So if that's the case, could you explain what you're about to see next?
You shouldn't be banned from one platform and not others for providing misinformation out there.
There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
People go to only one source, and the source they go to is sick and, has an agenda, and they're putting out disinformation. Our First Amendment stands as a major block. It's really hard to govern today.
This is a matter of corporate responsibility. Twitter should be held accountable and shut down that site. It is a matter of safety and corporate accountability.
The First Amendment is not absolute. It does not protect any single thing anyone says. And there are limits, and that's important. And what this committee has been trying to do for the last year and a half is to chill the federal government from monitoring what is going on social media.
When you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence.
I'm sorry. All I hear when she talks is taco, taco, burrito, burrito.
Very clearly incitement of violence. I believe
taco flavored kisses.
That when it comes to broadcast television, like Fox News, these are subject to federal law, federal regulation.
Liking the video so far? Subscribe below the video for more.
So the new iPhone now lets you say which of your contacts are mentally ill. They call it adding pronouns.
Me looking over my shoulder for Nazis when I use the ATM at night, said no one ever. Oh no. I thought they were 13% of the population, but committed over half the murder. Oh wait, that's not Nazis. Let's check back in with Jimmy Kimmel.
Sometime at night, Paul Malone look up in the sky and say, what the hell going on up there?
Remember, everyone, he didn't do blackface. He did brownface, which isn't quite as bad.
UFO live on other planet, phoning home like E.T. Paul Malone read on TV about white people getting deducted by alien.
I'm more upset by how unfunny this is. Oh, wait. We need more proof? The Democrats' martyr, the victim of censorship. His free speech has been stripped from him. He is their guiding light.
She's attractive or not?
Soft brown stomach protects my knees and ankles from unnecessary wear and tear.
Not too much longer, mi sopra, okay?
That means shut up in Spanish.
Something in my pants, and you're allowed to feel around on the outside of the pants. You have 10 seconds to then guess what is in my pants. You should use two hands. Two hands.
Everybody, do me a favor. Please be respectful, okay?
Hello. So I have a few leading questions before my main one, because I have to be honest, I don't really know that much about you. So would you say that you're very religious?
I am religious. However, every one of my political positions is defensible from a non-religious perspective.
Okay, great. So I was under the impression that your beliefs on abortion were stemming from your religious beliefs.
Well, at the core, that is correct, but I can get that it is defensible from using reason and prudence, as I have done the last couple of
Cool. So you're not trying to illegalize abortion based on the Bible?
Well, no, not based on the Bible. My personal conviction comes from the Bible. I want to make abortion illegal because it is the only applicable extension of laws and standards we already have in the West. Correct.
I'm sorry, can you maybe rephrase that?
Eliminating abortion is the only logical step while we apply the standard we already have in this country to unborn life. So we have murder laws.
Yes.
Therefore, murder laws should apply to unborn life as it does to born life.
Okay. So, again, reiterating, you're not trying to instate laws based on Christian beliefs, because that would be unconstitutional, right?
Well, again, sort of, but no, I am not using scripture to defend my beliefs. However, my personal convictions start with scripture, but the political views that we're talking about here are all defensible using reason and Western tradition.
Okay. So, great. That's all I needed to know, that you weren't trying to instate laws based on Christian beliefs, because I would not be able to support anything that was so blatantly unconstitutional. But thank you for clarifying that for me.
What a respectful conversation. The crowd there allowing her to talk, and somehow Charlie deserved it.
I had a whole thing ready, but I guess that wasn't necessary. Thank you so much.
Well, first of all, just tell me more about how you view politics, or what. Is that okay? Or if not, and feel free to walk away. I'm not here.
Maybe not in this crowd.
That's okay. Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Archer.
Archer, thank you for coming up, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank you for clarifying.
And let me just say one last thing. I could tell you probably have a negative impression of Christianity, maybe. I hope one day we can earn back your support to making Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior. I'm sorry if the church has failed you in that way, because I do have strong religious convictions and beliefs, and there is a God who made you and loves you, and he sent his son to die for you.
Her name is Mom.
Okay, well, thank you. I do appreciate the candor and the courage to come up here, but we will pray for you. Thank you.
Okay. Kick it out.
Thank you, Archer.
You're not going to believe this. There are actual protesters at Charlie Kirk's memorial today. Like, who shows up to a funeral to protest? You ever wonder what scum of the earth looks like? That's it right there. Like, they spent time making these signs to go to a guy's funeral to protest it. And if that wasn't bad enough, they're trying to circulate videos saying that there's a low turnout.
I mean, we did a live stream on this. It took them almost half an hour to an hour to actually fill out the stadium. People were filing in. Those are the videos being shared before it was fully packed.
But let's take a look at a different one.
Not only was it packed to the brim, they opened the hockey arena across the street for overflow.
It's just crazy the lengths people will go to show how horrible they are.
What did you guys think of the memorial? I think they had a few too many speakers, but the spirit felt in the room. The revival feel was incredible. I don't know. What do you think? Drop a comment down below.
Particular.
Like the shootings that are going on in America, that thousands of kids are dying.
Well, thousands of kids aren't dying every year, but a lot of kids are dying. You're right.
It's actually 30,000 kids die a year.
Actually,
no, 30,000 kids do not die. 30,000 total people die due to gun violence, 2/3 of which are suicide, and the majority are urban violence. You guys can fact check me on this at any time, by the way. 30,000 kids do not die of gun violence a year. So in order to be consistent, because you care about gun violence,
yes, I do.
Should we take all the pistols away so that no gang violence can happen in Kansas City, Chicago, Houston, etc.?
Yeah.
So all pistols should be taken?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think so.
How?
So Americans should not have any guns at all?
I don't think so, no.
Do you agree?
I do agree.
So no guns at all. So we have about 380 million guns in this country. How do you suggest getting them?
I think we should just do background checks on everyone.
No, we already own them, right? So how do we take the guns away?
I mean, I don't think there's any real physical way we can take away the guns, but how can we prevent this in the future?
Right, but that's important. Since we can't get rid of the 380 million guns, what are we going to do?
There has to be some form of incentive to get people to give up their guns in order.
So
for
like buybacks
Yes.
and confiscation.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it. So you would get rid of the Second Amendment?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Because children are dying.
Got it. So 30,000 people. Got it. 30,000 people die of gun violence a year, right? 30,000. 55,000 people die from auto fatalities every year. Should we get rid of cars?
Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, it is. No, you said 30,000. That's a lot of people, but a lot more people die because of cars. So we should get rid of them, right?
I don't think so. That's different.
No, it's not different. It's more people. We care about people, right? So we should try to make America safer. Get rid of liberty, so cars got to go. Yeah?
So,
well, but I thought we'll save lives. We'll save 55,000 lives a year.
It's funny how they like to stand on the graves of dead children as justification for getting rid of the Second Amendment, yet they dance on the grave of Charlie, who was willing to have an open discussion with them about guns.
For your service, officer.
Thank you very much.
They're really good at their job.
What are you doing?
Hey, I want her arrested right now. I want her arrested right now. That's bullshit.
What an idiot. Why would you do that? In front of officers of the law.
Is it because I'm Mexican?
No.
Is it because I'm Mexican? Porque soy mexicana? I'm gonna go rob a bank. When the cops show up, I'm gonna say, is it because I'm Irish?
Because you went up and assaulted my child. You went up and assaulted my child.
Let me tell you about my best friend. Trump and Elon seen together at Charlie Kirk's memorial service. He was my slave owner in 1620, and I vowed to find him in every lifetime.
The shackles of the flesh may be gone, but the ones of the mind, they remain. Some of y'all ain't never want to leave that field. God damn.
And only want one thing. Thank you so much to the barista at this shop that is not going political over my Mint Majesty tea order. You're a wonderful human being. Imagine being grateful for a Starbucks employee not writing loser on the cup when you order a Mint Majesty tea. This is the crowd at 4 a.m. to get into Charlie Kirk's memorial service. Estimates say it was already 40,000 people. Look at all this rioting and looting. Despicable.
God bless America.
And of course, they still called it a Klan rally. They have to somehow find a way to label it negatively to negate the impact and the revival feel that it had. You just created 1 million Jimmy Kimmel MAGAs. Do you think he gets it? Who's going to tell him?
Well, you can forget the Roth IRA. My new retirement plan is to move to Mexico, give up citizenship, come back illegally, and then be set for life.
I would have done that under Biden, but I don't think I'm getting back in with Trump. Things you shouldn't do while your baby is starving and waiting on you to feed her. Yeah, I agree.
WNBA. Does WNBA have cheerleaders at all? Is it just like 12 dudes popping out, opening pickle jars? Oh, like, you're always right. You're always right. You're always right. Stephanie sounds like a bitch. Stephanie sounds like a bitch. I'm gonna go do a load of laundry.
Good morning. God is in charge of everything. Let's have a good day.
Thanks, little buddy. He's definitely getting fired.
Cartridge that shoots the darts?
Oh my God!
What are you doing? Oh my God! Are you serious? Sorry.
Must be the captain.
Are you going to be my baby forever?
When I grow up and when I grow down, I will.
Grow down?
Okay, but when you grow up, you're still going to be my baby?
Uh-huh.
But I don't want you to grow up.
I have to.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I can drive a car.
Oh.
And what else?
And play. But I'll be a baby for a little bit.
For a little bit? But I want you to be my baby forever.
I will.
You promise? I really don't want you to grow up.
I will.
You promise? I really don't want you to grow up.
I have to grow up. I'll be your baby forever, and then I will grow up too.
Okay. But when you grow up, are you going to get a job?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Where are you going to work?
We gotta find a place I can work, Mommy.
Where do you think you should work?
I don't know.
What do you want to do?
We should share offices, should we?
You want to share offices with me?
Yeah.
That would be so fun. What are you going to do in your office?
Work. Type.
Type on the computer? And what else?
Call somebody.
Oh, you're going to call people?
Yeah, and work.
But you're still going to be my baby, right?
Yeah.
You promise?
Yeah.
Pinky promise?
Pinky.
I have depression, anxiety disorder, and I'm confused about what gender I am. But you should definitely listen to me about how to fix this country.
We should be clear about who Charlie Kirk was. A man who believed that the Civil Rights Act that granted Black Americans the right to vote was a mistake. His rhetoric and beliefs were ignorant, uneducated, and sought to disenfranchise millions.
If you're going to call someone else's rhetoric ignorant, shouldn't you make sure your rhetoric isn't ignorant? The Civil Rights Act didn't give Black Americans the right to vote. The 15th Amendment did that a century earlier. Then, the Voting Rights Act in 1965 removed the barriers that states were still using to block Black people. But here's the deeper problem. AOC is attacking a straw man. Straw manning is when you twist someone's argument into a weaker version, then attack that instead of what they actually said. It's a logical fallacy. And it's what caused people to think Charlie Kirk is a racist. Here was his actual point.
You said the Civil Rights Act was a mistake. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, so the parts of the Civil Rights Act were great, but the way it's now being implemented to force men in female bathrooms to push forward of the trans agenda, the intent of the Civil Rights Act is way beyond what it was originally authored for.
But the intent specifically originally was to...
Well, that's interesting. So the intent and the law are two different things. So the intent was noble, which was to say that no American can be not allowed into a place of business based on the color of their skin or their ethnic heritage. Totally agreement with that. That's not what the law only did. It created a massive anti-racist DEI army that then gave us affirmative action.
I could do this all day because Charlie made this argument many times. Charlie supported the Civil Rights Act's intention to protect Black Americans from discrimination. His argument was that the law left loopholes, which are now being twisted to justify men and women's sports or racial discrimination in college admissions. AOC didn't just push this straw man once. She repeated it in emails. She pushed it on social media. And
Man, her favorite phrase is "we should be clear." Anytime you hear a politician say, "Let me be clear," "we should be clear," it is immediately followed by a lie, a bold-faced lie.
Was online when she sent those. 30 seconds with AI could have told her the context.
Okay, just whenever AOC speaks, just do what I do and think, "Taco-flavored kisses."
Not everyone took to his words or his rhetoric.
Go to hell. We're taking back this country.
You know, at times, they were offensive to specific communities.
Do you notice that the media all of a sudden tries to play the moral high ground when we start to try to make them live up to the standard that they created and the construct that they forced and the paradigm that they constituted under George Floyd? The moment that we make them have to live up to their own standard, they start to cry foul.
But with that said, this is not the time to focus on that. We are focused on this tragedy.
Okay, but...
Speaking of this tragedy, is this a moment for your party to reflect on political violence?
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Is it a moment for us to think about the responsibility of our political leaders and their voices?
Federal Circuit Court Judge Michael Ludwig has called Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans, quote, a clear and present danger to our democracy. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies.
And you wonder why we're under attack, why the left feels justified to speak with bullets and not words.
And what it does to the masses as they get lost in misinformation or disinformation that turns in and spills into political violence.
I say you are entering the final phase, the phase that will determine the future of the United States of America. Which side wants to save the country more? Which side wants to see their kids and grandkids live in a free society? I love you.
I love you, baby.
God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.
First things first, Jimmy Kimmel, cancelled rightly, or has he been thrown under the bus unceremoniously?
No, he's been rightly cancelled. I don't even know if it's a cancellation. Everybody keeps saying, oh, this is a violation of the First Amendment, a free speech. This isn't a free speech issue. Jimmy Kimmel is an employee of a company. If he had his own show on his own website, and let's say the government silenced him or canceled the website, that's a free speech issue. Yeah. But here you work for a company, you're supposed to be a comedian, you're not funny, the joke wasn't funny, you are offensive, and you have low ratings, so you're going to be fired. It's sort of like Stephen Colbert, right? He was running a $40 million deficit. He wasn't funny. He wasn't interesting. Guess what? They canceled him. It wasn't about politics. It was about follow the money. You're not doing that well. But what's interesting is that the folks on the left, they're more upset about Jimmy Kimmel being put on pause, put on leave, than they are Charlie Kirk, who was violently assassinated. So these people are hypocrites, and it's why I don't take them seriously. I have no sympathy for Jimmy Kimmel. He's not that funny. He's basically a partisan hack. And if you're going to make a joke about Charlie Kirk's death, you're a pretty disgusting person.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think lots of our viewers would agree as well. The argument, though, Link, from the left is that President Trump installed Brendan Carr into the FCC, the sort of regulator here which manages all the top sort of American news networks, including ABC. And Carr is now hauling all those networks before the commission and clamping down on them for various issues. They're saying it's politically motivated. Trump's just put his guy into the FCC. Do you see anything in that?
No, I actually don't think it's politically motivated at all. You know, President Trump is very busy. I think people are overestimating how much time he's spending on ABC and Disney Company and all of their shows and their networks. I think he's busy running the country. I think the bottom line here is Jimmy Kimmel, the joke wasn't funny. It was offensive. He also straight up lied. Let's say he's not a comedian. He's a journalist. You lied. You said the killer was a right-wing MAGA guy, conservative. Why would the killer be MAGA conservative? Everything shows he's the complete opposite.
Trump doesn't care about your show, Jimmy. Your own fans don't care about your show.
I have one last question, okay? And just answer this and I'll go. All right. What is your definition of a woman?
A woman is an adult female with XX chromosomes.
Okay. All right.
What would you say a woman is?
I don't want to answer that question. Thank you.
What is a woman?
Take care.
And this is how they debate.
How many genders are there?
That's how many society wants to decide.
So unlimited.
Sure.
Can I be a bobcat?
If you want to identify as a bobcat, then I will support you.
Can I be a black person?
Ooh.
I don't know about that. That's not really.
Oh no.
But you're okay.
You're a bobcat.
You're okay with
Bobcat,
identification fluidity then?
But you're a bobcat. Tell me about that.
No, I said, can I be a bobcat? Maybe now I'm a fox.
Nah, you're not a fox, dude.
Oh, what a bigot.
You understand how things can quickly drift into societal chaos when you ignore chromosomal structure?
As you know, a lot of people believed you were advocating for a violent response. You've clarified that now. And people are saying, is that a sincere clarification or have you just calmed down?
It wasn't a clarification. It was a repeat. And I stand by it. I am advocating for lawful, maybe let me clarify, ruthless violence in defense of us and our own. And if you give me 1.5 minutes, I can make it crystal clear if we need to. What you're seeing with Charlie Kirk is what got through. Charlie Kirk lived under a cloud just as I have. It's the reason that I stopped doing Change My Minds, where there were 12 felonious assaults, attempts at battery, and attempts on my life. And I know quite a few, and many I don't, of Charlie Kirk. I want to be clear. I want those on the left to speak freely and to be able to host their events with minimal security as they do now for the rest of their lives. Just as surely, I want them to be deathly terrified of showing up and acting with the increasing violence as they have at our events. And that goes both ways. Hey, if there's a spat of right-wing violence that's spreading across this country, treat those people the same way that we treat yours.
What was really sad was at the memorial to see bulletproof glass inside of a venue. Rainn Wilson, Dwight from The Office, confirms Hollywood liberal elites were celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk in private.
Is being torn apart in so many different ways. While I didn't agree with his ideas, shooting someone that we disagree with, even if they're vociferous and loud and out there, is so colossally wrong-headed. I spoke to a couple of, let's say, some liberal friends last night at an event, and they were like, you won't find me shedding any tears. And someone else was like, oh, well, there was a little bit of a kind of a good riddance thing. And it's like, guys, no.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I know.
We cannot think or talk that way.
Not at all.
That is not
It's
okay.
so dangerous, man.
Like Mark Ruffalo cares.
They got Kimmel. And now
they suspended him indefinitely. What's he going to do with his $100 million now? How is he going to deal with being the left's martyr and put on every other show that they can?
late night TV exists so that old people can die to a laugh track. That's what, that is playing in nursing homes across. They hear a band and a laugh and they can just let go. And bring back Jimmy so we can all not watch, dude.
There's no immediate necessity to have empathy for this kid and say, let's come together. Justice needs to be served.
Empathy for the shooter?
Talking about a love-torn child, a kid. This is probably his first real relationship, and somebody was disparaging the person that he loved. He sat on that building for 30 minutes before he took the shot. Why did he wait until the first word trans came up? Then he took the shot.
You think he heard it? He could hear it?
I think he could hear it.
No, he couldn't. I was at the back of the crowd and I couldn't even hear Charlie. He had 2 PA speakers for a crowd of 3,000 people and a bunch of liberal protesters yelling and booing the entire time. If I couldn't hear Charlie from the back of the crowd, there's no way in hell that the shooter a few hundred yards back could hear it.
I don't believe he was motivated politically. I think this was motivated emotionally.
Guys, guys, the evidence here is
Come on,
overwhelming.
man.
He said, Charlie Kirk, I can't stand this hate anymore. I'm going to take him out. The testimony from him and the statements of his family, he had become more left-wing.
Catch this, fascist was engraved on the bullet.
The statements that are made by the left about Republicans and conservatives and Charlie Kirk, fascist, on the bullet casings.
He made a joke about it in his last text.
Well, it doesn't sound like a joke to me because someone's dead and about to be buried.
Well,
so it doesn't sound like a joke to me. So I'm just telling you, there is an effort. There was an effort all weekend long on the left to try to make this guy sound like he was a conservative. That failed. That was passed around all over the weekend. That has now failed. The evidence has now come out. He was motivated by hate. He was motivated by left-wing radicalism. He got mixed up with some trans ideology in his life. We'll learn more about that, I'm sure, when more evidence and testimony comes out. We are looking around the edges of this for something other than what's staring us in the face. Left-wing radicalism got this kid. He went up to a roof and he murdered our friend, and that's what happened.
Can we, for 1 second, understand that as we continue, Scott just got all angry, got real mad. Fix it, it's gotta be this, it's gotta be this, it's gotta be this. Why can't we have a discussion about how long is it going to take for us to figure
Charlie was trying to have a discussion. The calm rhetoric is over. It's time to have a little fire.
We need to find a way to come together. They murdered Charlie. What do you mean? There's no immediate necessity to have empathy for this kid and say, let's come together. Justice needs to be served. Then we can talk. What are you saying? Let's think about his feelings and this is not the time. No, Charlie's dead.
Fox News alert. The man who attempted to kill Brett Kavanaugh isn't a man. He's trans. New court documents reveal Nicholas Roski has changed his identity. He's now Sophie Roski. Filings show that Roski actually used female pronouns before trying to kill Kavanaugh. So here we have more trans terrorism. Sophie faces 30 years in prison and has already pled guilty.
Tell me, you don't see a pattern. Just a single mom that always does her big one no matter what's against her.
Can a woman have a prostate?
Yes. So transgender women,
Got
so
it.
people who identify as a woman within society, they present with their gender expression as feminine.
So you have to just give me a working definition of then what a woman is. What is a woman?
It is anyone who identifies as that way.
But that
and it's okay you guys don't feel that way. It's
Time
okay.
out though, but that doesn't actually describe a woman. That's just saying that anyone can be a woman.
But do you need the definition of a woman to know what one is?
100%, of course you do.
I don't.
Isn't it just like a little bit silly you can't answer this fundamental biological question of what a woman is?
But again, you're asking me about sex. You're asking me about what
No.
a female sex is. And I can tell you what the female sex is. But
Okay.
as for a woman, which is a
But
gendered term created
again,
from
any-
the terminology of the
No,
creation of
again,
gender.
because we live in reality, reject the term gender.
Okay.
Right? So at any point, at any time, someone can become a woman.
Yes, and they can achieve womanhood and experience it. Like, they can experience what it's like to be a woman and being a woman.
That's why I never pay for dinner, because I am a strong, independent woman.
So basically, to be a woman is just a mindset.
Yeah.
Hey, any divorced dads out there fighting for custody of your kids, just have the mindset of a woman and tell the judge that if you want more custody.
I got cut off on a plane. You ever drink so much they shut you off of booze on an airplane? The stewardess or flight attendant or sky bitch, whatever they are this month, wing Nazi, she comes over to me, right? The sky skank, and she says, sir.
Gender reveals in 2025 be like...
3, 2, 1.
What's orange? The doctor said the baby doesn't identify as a boy or a girl.
Oh my god, we're having a they/them baby.
Our baby's gonna be so woke!
Why even have a gender reveal party if you're just going to choose the baby's gender for them?
Man, how does it feel being the leader in such an incredible movement across the country. I mean, in colleges and universities all over the country. I mean, thousands. I go to these universities. If it wasn't for Turning Point USA, we would lose our country.
Oh, thank you.
The young people, the next generation is, I think that almost the sole responsibility has been on the back of Turning Point USA to turn people.
Look, there's a lot of great people doing work out there. We work hard and we produce results. You know that, right? People say, what makes Turning Point different? We put in more hours, right? We do. And look, how does it feel? I'm humbled. Glory be to God. He has blessed this organization. He's had his hand on this organization. He has protected this organization. He has provided for this organization. And we're doing our best to be obedient and to do what he tells us to do. Deuteronomy 6:5, to love him with all of our being, our soul, strength, and mind, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we try to do every single day at Turning Point USA.
What's up, man? What's up, dude? What do you do for work?
I'm a mechanic.
What kind of mechanic? For cars?
No, beef.
A beef mechanic?
Beef mechanic?
That's called gay where I'm from. What does a beef mechanic do?
Knocking out, you know how you get your hamburger?
Yeah, but that's called a mechanic?
Yes, I'm a
They're making frou-frou names for that. Dude, you're just a meat packer. Hey, better than a fudge packer. What's the strength of them glasses, sir? Yeah, you're blind as they're thick, dude. That's like bulletproof glass, dude. That's great. So if you took them off, you couldn't see me? You can see shadows of me? Do you let him drive? He's a truck driver?
Oh my gosh.
Every spot for you is a blind spot.
Now there's male NFL cheerleaders. The gay is implied. No straight guys going out there like, all right, guys, time to do our job. Another day on the job. I guess it's inspiring, but like, who is it for? You know, like, it's not for the fans. The fans don't want that. The cheerleaders don't really want that. It's just for that guy. It's like a Make-A-Wish kid. Like, who's that for? That's like having Joe Rogan on the panel for RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, this isn't the place for it. Also, imagine being a woman and you're this close to making the NFL cheer squad. And they're like, and the last spot goes to Greg. Sorry, bitch. Maybe next year.
I got married because I was sick and tired of finishing my own sentences, so that's working out really well.
You're mad about Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled? Let's rewind a bit.
Ban the president permanently. Oh! Twitter banned the president permanently. Oh, damn! They took away his precious.
Well, Facebook upheld their ban of Donald Trump today for at least another 6 months.
It is so funny to watch the Trump supporters and the Republicans melt down over Tucker Carlson getting fired from Fox News.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson after all these years.
They evaluated whether or not Trump's tweets violated Twitter policy. They said no, we could just label it as incitement to violence anyway to get the job done.
Donald Trump's Twitter account just got suspended. Now, the first thing that we need to note is that this is very, very funny.
And even with Twitter, you cannot find actual evidence of any direct government censorship of any lawful speech.
Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg claims he was pressured by the White House to censor content related to COVID-19 during the pandemic.
And direct law enforcement to counter this extremism. We will hold social media platforms accountable.
And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and other folks on Fox do, it is very clearly violence.
There are Americans who are engaged in kind of propaganda, and whether they should be civilly or criminally charged would be a better deterrent.
To stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight, now that he's seen how he is perverting and slying the truth.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Chickens protecting the coop. Are they running off a bear? Let's get them, guys! Get out of here!
You know, these people, we don't need them. And, like, not one person who got fired for comments over Charlie Kirk was their boss like, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
Not one. They were just like, oh, thank God we could finally get rid of that crazy bitch.
It's very weird watching that video post Me Too, because in this video, this woman is just trying to walk home after work, and like Mike is following her for like 80 blocks. 5 blocks I'll give you. 80 blocks? That's assault. What are you doing? At one point, she's trying to get away from him through the back seat of a car, and Mike follows her through the car. At the end of the video, this woman, she's trying to get away from him. She's in this dead-end alley. And she looks behind her, and then Mike and 4 dudes pop out of the shadows. If that happened to you today, you'd be like, this is how I die. You'd be on the phone, like, this guy's been following me for 30 blocks. He's been saying Shimon and he. I think he's on PCP. Do you know what Mama Say Mama Sama Makusa means? He's saying it over and over again. He's grabbing his and he's coming closer to me. How would you even describe Michael Jackson to the police? I think he's black. Maybe he's white. I don't know.
Oh, and one little lamb scares another little lamb. That reaction, though. What video made you laugh? Drop a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Conservative Vibes. I'm CV, and I'll see you in the next video.